For a long time, I thought my cat climbed on me at random. Then one evening, I sat down after being on my feet for an hour, and she was on me before I had properly landed. I remember thinking, that was too fast to be a decision. And it turns out your cat is not deciding in that moment either. The word everyone uses for this is suddenly. Your cat suddenly climbs on you, suddenly appears in your lap, suddenly decides you are furniture. Suddenly is the wrong word, and it is the reason this behavior confuses people. Nothing your cat does with their whole body is sudden. There is a trigger, there is an approach, and there is a reason it ends when it does. There are 5 things happening here, and by the end, you will be able to see the jump coming before it happens. No fluff, no fear, just what is actually going on. And stay with me, because the 5th one explains why it looks sudden to you and does not feel sudden at all to them. Reason 1. The trigger is you stopping. Think about when it actually happens. Almost never while you are moving around the house. Almost always in the first minute or 2 after you sit down and stay down. That is not your cat noticing a warm lap has appeared. That is your cat reading a signal you did not know you were sending. For most of the day, you are a moving object in their space, and a moving object is a poor place to be. The moment you settle, you change category. You stop being traffic and start being terrain. And the reason it happened so fast is that they were not waiting for the lap. They were waiting for the stillness, and they had been tracking it long before you sat down. Here's the thing you can check tonight. Watch what they do in the second or 2 before you sit, not after. Most cats are already moving toward the chair while you are still lowering into it. Reason 2. The approach is announced, and you have been missing it. Now the part almost every owner walks straight past. Your cat tells you they are coming. Hilary Feldman studied how cats approach one another and described the raised upright tail as a signal given on the way in, a way of saying the approach is friendly before contact happens. It is not a mood, it is an announcement, and it is made in advance. They have already opened the conversation. The jump is the end of that sentence, not the beginning. The tail goes up somewhere near the doorway. The walk slows about halfway. There is a pause at your feet that lasts about a second. Then they are on you, and only that last part registered. Quick one before the next reason. Tell me in the comments where your cat lands, lap or chest or shoulder. I read every single one. And the next reason is the one that changed how I sit with my cat, because it turns out who starts it decides how it goes. Reason 3. Who begins it decides how long it lasts. Here is something that has actually been measured. I went looking for whether anyone had timed these interactions properly, and Manuela, Wedl, and Kurt Kotterschall have. They recorded cats and their owners at home and looked at who started each interaction and what happened next. What came out of it was clear. Interactions that the cat began lasted longer and went better than the ones the person began. Not because the cat is in charge, because the cat had already decided and the human had not interrupted anything. This is why the lap visit you did not ask for often lasts 20 minutes, and the one where you picked your cat up and placed them there lasts 11 seconds. Same cat, same lap, same evening. The difference is who opened it. So the practical version is almost embarrassingly simple. When they climb on, do less than you want to. Do not adjust them. Do not lift them into a better position. Do not turn it into an event. You are not being passive. You are letting the thing they started stay theirs. Reason 4. The leaving was always part of it. Now the bit that hurts owners for no reason. They climb on, settle, and then 2 minutes later, they are gone. It reads as rejection every time. Eugenia Natoli spent years studying cats living together in groups, and what she described was not animals who are either close or apart. It was animals constantly adjusting how close they were all day in both directions. Closeness in cats is not a state they arrive at. It is something they keep setting and resetting. So a 2-minute lap visit is not a failed long one. It is a complete one. They came in, got what the contact was for, and move the dial back. And the owners who take the leaving personally are usually the ones who accidentally shorten the next visit because they reach out as the cat stands up. Let them go cleanly and they come back sooner. Reason 5. Why it feels sudden to you and not to them. This is the one I promised at the start. Everything above is a step, and your cat runs all of the steps every single time. They track where you are through the day. They register the moment you stop. They announce themselves on the way over. They pause at your feet. Then they climb. By the time you notice, 4 of those 5 have already happened. You are seeing the last line of something your cat has been writing for several minutes. That is the whole illusion. It is not that your cat acts on impulse and you are the calm one. It is that they are running a slow, careful process, and you are only conscious of the end of it. And this is worth sitting with because it changes what the behavior means. An impulse is cheap and a process is not. A cat who runs the same 5 steps every single time is telling you the outcome matters to them enough to be careful about it. Your cat did not fall onto you. They checked where you were, waited for you to become still, told you they were coming, gave you a second to object, and only then committed. That is not a cat being random. That is a cat being careful with something they do not want to get wrong. You were not chosen in that moment. You were being approached for several minutes, and the jump was only the part loud enough for you to notice. The honest truth. Now the part that matters if your cat does not do this. Plenty of cats never climb on anyone, and it is not a scoreboard. I spent a long time believing the lap cat was the affectionate one and mine was holding something back, and that was just wrong. Some cats do all of this and stop at your feet because being held in place is the part they will not accept. Some do it to one person in the house and not another, and that is usually about how still that person sits, not how much they are loved. And some stop doing it at some point, which is the one worth paying attention to. A cat who used to climb and now does not has often lost the jump, not the wish. Height is the first thing to go quietly. A stool beside the chair solves more of these than anything else you could try. If it changes suddenly and stays changed, a calm vet check is worth doing because discomfort shows up in what a cat stops attempting long before it shows up anywhere else. So tonight, when you sit down, do not watch your lap. Watch the doorway. Watch for the tail going up, the walk slowing, the paws at your feet. And when they land, do nothing at all. You will get longer and you will have earned it by staying out of the way. Nothing in that house gets approached this carefully, and the whole approach was for you. Tell me in the comments how long your cat stays. I read every single one. If this made you look at your cat a little differently, a like helps YouTube show honest cat information to the next owner still guessing. And if you would rather understand your cat than guess at them, that is the whole reason this channel exists. I'll see you in the next one.